Okay folks, so today we're going to start building our raised garden beds. So what we're going to do is we're going to use 2x8s as our sides and then 2x6 on the top to give us something to lean on. And we're going to do it two 2x8s high. And then what we're going to do is build a sort of a U configuration. So we'll have the outside like this, and then we'll come in, and then we'll have a walkway for us to be able to get into the garden bed. And we're going to have multiple ones of those, and the reason we're doing that is it allows us to use less wood by combining beds, and it also allows the longer pieces to run north-south, which is the ideal configuration for gardens. And so we'll have one of those. We're building one of those today, and then we're going to build another one in a couple weeks and utilize that for succession planting of everything we did in the first bed. We'll do probably identical in the second bed just a few weeks later so that we can get a longer harvest season, if you will. So yeah, we've already got some wood cut, and so now I'm going to start putting it together and let you guys enjoy, and I'll give some commentary as I do it. Alright, so here we are just cutting 4-foot and 8-foot lengths of 2x8 with squared edges. You may not know this, but not all lumber comes completely square from the lumber yard or the big box store. Now, the reality is that we probably don't need completely square edges here because it's just a garden bed. But the perfectionist in me just can't let it go. So we're squaring the edges. Alright, so here we're just putting a few sections together to help knock out some of the work ahead of time and doing it on a flat surface rather than in the yard. What you cannot see very well is that I ripped a 1.5 inch notch into the 4x4s, the corner 4x4s, to allow for a more solid and balanced connection to the 2x8s. Well, the kiddos got a little ride. Riding on a trailer never gets old where we come from. Who am I to judge? So here we're just measuring out and setting some general locations for where we're going to put the corners. And next we'll just start setting out the prefabricated sections, digging holes for the 4x4s and connecting everything. You may wonder why I didn't pre-dig the holes for the 4x4s and set them ahead of time. The truth is, this was a pretty casual build, and I didn't expect the 4x4s to provide any other support to the 2x8s other than holding them together and keeping them roughly in the same place. Now, yeah, I may regret this later, but it's a pretty low risk scenario in my mind, so Okay, so we're done with the main part of the raised beds. The next step is I'm going to line the top of these raised beds with a 2x6 to make it a little bit more comfortable to lean in on and do work. Once we have that done, we're going to fill the bottom half. So this is made up of 2x8, so two 2x8s, 16 inches total. We're going to put about 6 to 8 inches worth of wood. So these cut slabs over here that are already rotting, some other wood, sticks from around in the woods, anything that will break down over time, we're going to put that in the bottom half, 6 to 8 inches worth of that, and then cover that with soil and compost so that we have some actually nutrient rich material for the plants to grow in. And then we're going to take this, we're going to duplicate it, and we're going to put it over there. So we'll have 2 of these. Each one of these is about 144 square feet. It is 16 feet in length by 12 feet in width total, and then each one of these is 4 feet wide. So you take that, you get 144 square feet, so lots and lots of space. And then behind there, we're going to leave probably 6 feet in between the 2 gardens, but behind there we're eventually going to put a greenhouse, potentially with some solar and some other things. So yeah, next step, let's get the rail on, and then we can call this one done. So now we're filling the beds with wood, and we're doing that for 2 main reasons. There are other benefits to it, but for us it's 2 primary reasons, and that is to promote better drainage of the raised bed and to create an environment for beneficial garden creatures to live. So things like worms. As the wood decays, it creates food for them to nourish themselves, and the result is processed decayed wood that gives us nutrients in the soil for our vegetables. After we get all the wood in, we'll spread some dirt, and then we'll get it all watered in so it's nice and tight, and then eventually we'll fill it with topsoil and start planting. Which leads me to the next piece, which is the next video, or the follow-on video to this, will be the planting and how we actually planted the garden. So what vegetables we chose for our fall garden. So hopefully you guys will see that coming soon. Thanks for watching. Plan. Yes, you were hearing that correctly. We're going to take the